Oh, you know what time it is. We are coming to you live from the happiest place on earth, $1 Million Studios. Your boys, Crispy Zach,
a.k.a. White as Rice,
and the benchmark of professional wrestling, Mr. Silky Baines.
Makes me black like Panther.
Spees in the Benchmark Show on a Monday night, February 11th, 2019, a night that will live in WWE wrestling history lore forever and ever.
I think that was the word you were looking for. A night
what
that
a
will
night.
live in
What a
infamy.
night it was. We welcome you here to the Speeds in the Benchmark Show. All of you here on Periscope and over on the YouTubes. We hope you will subscribe to the program and spread the good word if you would. If you're on Periscope, be sure to invite those followers. Hello to you, Tana, Busting for Autism over on the YouTubes. Subscribe, send it to all your followers on Periscope and on Twitter, retweet, get to doing all of that fun stuff. And of course, as always, if you want to support the show, you can do so by leaving those super hearts on the Periscope app or hit us up at the tip jar, tinyurl.com/SB tip jar. Our friend Juanito from out the 619 left us a nice tip over the weekend. We're very appreciative to that. And to all of you guys who help support the program here, we are always very grateful for that. Hello to you, Brooke. And to Otis Section for dropping the super hearts already. Welcome back to you, sir. Jeffrey Cross as well. Thank you. And thank you all for being with us here tonight. And of course, if you want to get in on the conversation, or should I say the celebration, you can give us a call on the phone lines. 832-937-4559 is the number to get in.
That's 832-93-SILK.
You hear the enthusiasm behind what is going on with that? 832-93-SILKY. Where do we even start, man? Say yeah is absolutely right, Red Leaf. Just a wonderful, wonderful night. Was it not, Silky Baines? Tell everybody how you're feeling right now. It's feeling pretty damn good. No, that's okay. Oh, go ahead. Silky's getting used to the new soundboard here and where all of his sounds are. Let me pull it up for you there. There you go. There you go.
No.
Yeah, so you're not going to bring me down with that today, Silky. It's a great night, of course. The Revival, your new Raw Tag Team Champions, as a certain guy. Shut up! Can I get my Gringo Damas music here? As I've been saying
you can't steal,
for so fucking long
You
that the
cannot
time
steal
was
my
going to
shit.
come eventually.
No,
and here it is.
That's not Gringo Damas.
That is Gringo Damas.
That's not Gringo Damas.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, hey Greg, what's going on? Drowning Fool, what's up? Good to have you. Mac Diesel, thank you guys. Get the tables for the Super Hearts. Mac Diesel as well. We know the Super Hearts are going to come strong tonight because everybody's look at that crowd. That crowd is out of control on Periscope because they're all excited about the top guys winning the tag titles. That's exactly what happened. It's a big celebration here on the Speeds and the Benchmark Show. We are so glad to have you all with us. Thank you very much for that. And now we got to get rid of McMiz and everything like that. So hey, it's a great thing.
You first of all, I don't appreciate you stealing
I'm not
my Negro
stealing
Damas
shit.
music for
Among
your
my-
bullshit. For
Among
not even
my
a prediction.
Many
You
one
didn't-
jobs. One
You didn't
job
even
was to
say.
get the Negro Damas music, which I fucking got. So
Yes.
technically, I'm the one that found the fucking music. I can use it any way I want to use it.
No, you
I'm gonna
can't.
have a
It's-
sip of this icy cold, tasty Dr. Pepper. Best damn Dr.
First
Pepper
of
I've had in a
all,
long time.
you stole my Negro Damas music, and then you're using it in the wrong context because you didn't predict this shit. You can't just say eventually. I can say eventually that fucking Zack Ryder will get a match on Raw. That doesn't mean 6 months from now when it actually fucking happens,
most
I can
random-
hit the Negro Damas
Random
music.
thing of all time.
So what you gonna do is
Put some respect on it.
put some respect on my Negro Damas music. That's what you need to do.
I need to do nothing but celebrate tonight because it's a fantastic day.
And why are you
Jody
congratulating
Mania
Chris?
is excited.
He wasn't-
Everybody's been congratulating me. My Twitter's been blowing up. Congratulations, Spees. You're one of the few guys that stuck with the top guys through the Lucha House
He
Party
didn't
horse
do shit.
through the fucking B Team horse shit, and everybody else.
You did not
fucking
do
Revival. They're a
shit.
bunch of fucking jobbers. I told you this moment. I told all you
Cultural
motherfuckers this
appropriation. I
moment
like
would
that,
come,
Bob
and here it is. Here
I
it
like
is.
that, Babaruski. Cultural appropriation, first of all. That's what's going on right now by taking my Negro Damas music.
Cultural appropriation.
That's number
Suck, I
one.
don't even know what that means. He's just agreeing with you.
I know it's
No question now, says Mike Drop. Speezy
So
is
do
one
I
of the
get my
top
Negro
guys.
Damas music for saying Jay White would eventually be the IWGP Heavyweight Champ? And guess
Sure,
what?
if you want, you have it.
He is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Spoiler alert for those of you who were planning on watching that tonight.
Spoiler alert for those of you. Fuck you.
Oh, goodness. It's going to be like this all night. It's going to be very exciting. We got a huge crowd with us. We're very grateful all of you joining us. Yeah, Bustin' for Autism. You knew I was freaking out, and I definitely was. I actually jammed my thumb on my knee because I jumped up so high in the air. I got mad crazy ups, in case you didn't know.
No, he doesn't.
And as I was
it
coming
was
down,
like 2 feet off the ground.
hit my 2 feet, man. That's like 24-inch vertical, man.
No,
I'm coming
it's not.
strong.
That's not a very,
Okay, well.
maybe for white people that's a good.
Maybe for white people. Forever the revival, says Adam Awesome. That's correct, sir. So we got the phone lines already blowing up. It's probably people calling to congratulate us on what's going on. But we
You did not do shit.
It's-
You did not take a bump in that match. You weren't their manager. Why are people congratulating you? I don't understand it.
because they know that I put myself out there and I'm actually a fan of people and I actually say who I like instead of just taking credit for random shit.
Oh,
and
I
Sean
hate you
knows
so
what I'm
much.
talking about. Our good buddy Sean Neutron. What's going
hate
on,
you
Sean?
so
How are
much.
you, sir?
What's up, guys? I just want to say congratulations to the Revival on that hell of a win tonight, and honestly, hell of a match. I mean,
Yeah, that
they were
was.
back and forth, and nice result.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we've been
I
seeing
like
it
that.
on Twitter.
Congratulations to the revival because you ain't do shit.
I'm not saying I did shit, but if people want to congratulate me, I'm not going to complain about that at all. So, and the thing is, we've been seeing on Twitter mostly from the Revival guys that they've been killing it with Rude and Gable at house shows all over the place. So you knew this moment was going to come sooner or later.
I think it should have probably happened on a pay-per-view more than this Raw. But then again, I guess with the Elimination Chamber so already stacked with storyline shit, because even though they're not going to be on Mania, or if they are, they'll be on the pre-show.
They're not going to be on the fucking pre-show.
They're not going to be on the card.
They are going to be on the
They're
card.
not going to be on the main card.
We'll deal with
Dude,
that in just a
Well,
minute.
I
But
think they just wanted to have them win the titles here, so that way, the women's tag team titles take place, front and center on Elimination Chamber.
that's exactly right.
And I get that,
Makes
but
sense.
I say with that, then there's Fastlane. There's really not enough time to cultivate any significant amount of heat, in my opinion, to warrant a match on the WrestleMania card. Most of these feuds that are culminating in WrestleMania are a couple month builds just to get to that match.
We'll see. We shall see. Sean, you also want to talk about Becky Lynch. What's on your mind, man?
Oh yeah, the other thing, Becky Lynch. Am I the only one who thinks that whole thing's been overbooked with her and Ronda Rousey? All you have to do is have her and Ronda Rousey, sell the fight. And if you want to do something, give Ronda a manager so she doesn't have to talk as much. That's fine because she's not that good at it. But I think right now you get the McMahons, all of them involved, and and you saw tonight at the end of Raw. He brings in Charlotte. I don't know why they didn't just add Charlotte to the match instead of, hey, let's suspend Becky again. Like, it's just a little bit, over the top.
It is. I mean, and I definitely agree with the overbook because we all know eventually she's going to get probably a match at Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, one of the two. And if she wins, she gets in and it becomes triple threat. And I said, see, this is a perfect time for. Can you put up my thing?
Yeah, it's that one. That's the one you want. There you go.
This is a perfect time for my Negro Diamonds.
See, you can't use the music if you can't even find it on the fucking board, man. What's going on with
Because
that?
I called this all along that it would be a triple threat, and that especially because if they've all but said right now that this is going to be the main event
Yeah,
of
exactly.
WrestleMania. This is going to close WrestleMania. And I was the one that said that the only way I see this actually believably closing WrestleMania is if you put all three women, Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky in this match.
Yeah.
And what happened? It happened. So there's my Negro Damas.
Okay.
Negro Damas 2,
Okay, then.
Gringo Damas 0.
Sean, anything else you want to get out there before we let you go, buddy?
Yeah, the last thing is just about Becky. Just I saw somebody mention my buddy at Headlock Comics, Mike Kingston, was saying, when was the last time you saw Austin apologize to McMahon? I mean, I guess I put my sorry 316 shirt away.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Hey, thanks for the call, Sean. We always appreciate it, man. Thanks for checking in with us. Yeah.
I mean,
It was kind of an odd moment to have her actually apologize. Let's set the scene before
I think that that's what should have happened, though, because they booked this horribly in the sense of, like, if you look at it, everything that Corey Graves was saying was right. And I don't like agreeing with Corey Graves.
This is true.
And I know you don't like Stephanie McMahon, but what happened last week was really unjustified.
No, you and I were talking about it before the show.
It completely. So if an apology was kind of in order, because it wasn't like Stephanie was being the normal heel bitch. I'm your boss. You'll do what I say. No, she literally was like, just go to the doctor.
Yeah, she
And
was
then
to an
she got
extent, but it wasn't an unrealistic request that one of your
exactly.
top talents go and make sure that they're physically cleared to perform.
And then she started beating the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And so I think, honestly, I think my prediction would be that at either Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, it's going to be probably Fastlane. It's going to be Becky versus McMahon, Stephanie. And if Becky wins, she gets added to the match.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because
let's get caught up on some of these comments. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Mark Will says, congratulations on the revival, which they should have won it a couple months ago. I agree. Speeds is just happy that they're tag champs before Kurt Hawkins won a match. Thank God for that. Thank God
it was
for
narrow.
getting it before
It was
Kurt
narrow.
Hawkins. That's probably who they're going to fucking lose it to is Hawkins and Zack Ryder. But we'll see.
Probably.
Pre-show Destiny is the fate of tag titles as per normal. Yeah, Red Leaf, you're probably right. And Silky, you're probably right on that as well. Shout out to you, Tana. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, and the disagreement in the McMahon oligarchy, as Adam Awesome says. You know, I thought Vince coming out at the end, I actually thought that was a cool twist. You know, just Vince coming out. I don't give a fuck, and, you know, I'm just going to.
But, again, this is kind of hard because he's completely justified in what he did because essentially you had your talent attack your COO and whatever the fuck Stephanie does.
The chief brandy officer.
Yeah. So 2 high-ranking board members, your talent attacked them. So, yes, she should have, that should have happened.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Tampa fan says it. Everyone said it'd be a triple threat. Don't act like you called it, Silky.
Who
exactly.
Said that? Who the fuck said that?
Tampa fan 27
Who the fuck is that?
telling it like it is here in the Periscope.
Not everybody. I said it because this is my fucking show. I didn't see it.
What does he need to do, Silky? What does he need to do to the name? He needs to
put some respect on it.
Put some respect on it. This is my fucking show. So if I say I said it, that's what it is.
832-937-4559 is the number. We know WWE doctors take 3 years to clear you, says Mavarusky. That's true. Yeah. Sasha Reigns, don't come with that kind of talking here. We're not going to do that. And Juanito, congrats to the revival. Still,
fuck the revival.
Finally, the revival.
Above
Jet Life
all
has
else.
got it. Exactly
fuck
right.
the revival.
So let's set the scene for those who come to us, because a lot of you joining us here for the first time on the program. If you are, we hope you'll subscribe on Periscope at Spees Benchmark. Or you can hit us up on the YouTube's tinyurl.com/Spees Benchmark. So the way the show started was Stephanie and Triple H coming out and Stephanie doing her fire up the crowd thing. And essentially what they did is they invited, Becky Lynch came out there, interrupted, and they said, look, you're either going to apologize to us for what you did last week, or you're not going to have this match against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
You're getting a little bit ahead because first they made the thing that she went and saw her doctors, and then her doctors compared with theirs, and that she is cleared to wrestle.
Yeah, so basically this whole thing about, Becky not wanting to go to the doctor and refusing to go to the doctor, all of a sudden she went to the doctor.
Yeah.
So it was like this whole suspension angle about her not going to the doctor.
I think it was done wrong or didn't get over because I think her issue was she didn't want to go to their doctors.
Maybe that was it.
And that's probably what was happening is she didn't want to go to their doctors because she was afraid their doctors would hold her back. So she went to her own.
Yeah, and Dave says it right. Vince loves being that heel boss to hate. We'll get back to that in a minute. So, and Stephanie and Triple H did apologize to Becky Lynch as well. So they basically said, look, you did what we asked you to do, so you're going to get your match with Ronda. All we're asking in return is that you apologize for attacking us. And again, as Silky said a minute ago,
not unreasonable.
That's not unreasonable, and that's why the whole angle seems kind of awkward because
all the shots backstage of her talking to Finn.
Exactly. Now, what happened so basically they said you've got until the end of the show, because a lot of people watch us for highlights of the show because they don't want to sit through 3 hours of Raw. Those of you joining us for the first time. They said before the end of the show, you've got to apologize to us if you want to have this match with Ronda Rousey. So, of course, we've got Becky backstage giving looks in the distance and thinking.
And I left. She did.
Making her funny Becky faces where like she's sucking on an egg or something. She makes that face a lot. So she's thinking and thinking and thinking, and people are coming up to her and telling her what they think she ought to do. First, Finn Balor came up, so we had the Irish thing going on.
But she said, your abs still look awesome, which I thought was like stupid.
Yeah.
Totally cut through the seriousness of what they were talking about when she just makes a generic, your abs still look awesome.
Yeah. And so basically, Finn Balor comes up and says, hey, don't let your pride get in the way. You got a chance to do something big here. Do what you got to do. You also had Alexa Bliss come up at one point and say, look, a lot of us here in the back really look up to you, Becky. We really look up to you, and we think that you can do something great here, so you should just apologize. And, of course, Becky took that as, oh, yeah, sure, I'm apologizing. You just want my spot in the match. Becky's apparently paranoid that the whole world's trying to fuck her over, which that's kind of the character that she has.
Yeah, and she would be right, I mean, in that situation, because, of course, Alexa Bliss wants what she has.
Probably so. Probably so. And we also had, and I missed this because I was up here getting ready for the show, we had a Ronda Rousey moment backstage as well, telling people what happened there.
Which to me was completely weird because it was two different tones. Because it was Ronda basically doing the "We Are Women, Hear Us Roar," like, you know, this moment is bigger than us. We can open the door for so many women. All you have to do is apologize. Don't let your pride get in the way. And then she ends it with, because if you don't, you'll tell everyone that you're really afraid to wrestle me at WrestleMania. And then walks off, and I'm like, that is such a drastically different tone.
Yeah, exactly. And Lynn Mantis, welcome to you, sir, and thank you for the Super Hearts. We appreciate that. Yeah, everybody's seething over this Becco bullshit. Vince broke the internet, says Scott Frame, and I can't even imagine. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not able to be on Twitter live right now to see the fucking meltdown that's going on about Vince coming out at the end of the show. So essentially, let's put a period on this Becky sentence for the show tonight. The very last segment of the show, after the greatest moment in recent WWE history where the Revival won the tag team championships. Becky comes back out with Triple H and Stephanie and apologizes. She apologizes. Triple H walks out of the ring, says, you got it, you're on, it's you and Ronda. Becky starts to cut a fiery promo, and all of a sudden we hear, whoa, 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 whoa. And here comes the chairman, Vince McMahon, from backstage, who says, I'm not buying it. I don't like your attitude, Becky. You got a big attitude problem. And quite frankly, Ronda, you've got an attitude problem as well. So, Becky, I'm reinstating your suspension for 60 days. And that 60 days would end
about 5 days after WrestleMania.
About 5 days after WrestleMania. And Vince says, I need somebody there who can really carry this match, who can bring some charisma, who can bring something great to this match. Here she is, Charlotte Flair, and out walks Charlotte Flair, who is now, as of this moment, taking Becky Lynch's spot against Ronda Rousey at the main event in WrestleMania. Now, of course, things are likely to change between now and then, but that's what's going on. So, Texas at War says, I'm calling it right now, a triple threat.
You ain't calling shit, Texas at War. I called that shit.
Put some respect on it.
Put some respect.
That's so hack. Ronda is a hack artist on promos. Did she apologize to Steph? No. Yeah, Vince lit an inferno, I can only imagine. Sounds like they made Becky Lynch seem and look like a geek, just like Finn Balor. Somebody needs to fire Vince. He sucks. If Becky doesn't win, all the development of her and this storyline would have meant nothing.
Essentially, yes.
Can she win a rematch at SummerSlam and have the storyline not mean nothing? It has to be at WrestleMania?
I mean, that's the culmination of it. Anything else, I mean, one, how do you get to it?
I mean, obviously you like to have your storylines end on the biggest stage at WrestleMania.
So
but there are times when...
Do you see, I mean, people are wearing thin with this storyline now, and we still got a couple months till Mania. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're talking about extending it another 3 or 4 months just to get to SummerSlam for her to win it? Like, no, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't either, but...
nobody's going to want to see it.
Yeah, and so Tampa Bay fan says it hurts ratings. Is the issue with this? And I actually disagree with that. I think at this point, people are going to want to see what gets Becky Lynch in there, or, you know, the smart marks are going to go, okay, Becky's going to get in there sooner or later. What they're going to do is they're going to watch the Speeds and the Benchmark show to figure out how they got Becky back in there, and we're going to tell them. But I don't know that it kills ratings or anything like that. I think, if anything, look, Vince McMahon, say what you want about the guy.
He's not a billionaire for no reason.
Well, and this is so Vince.
Yeah.
It's such a Vince thing to do. I'm going to pick the biggest, hottest superstar, and I'm just going to go out there and take a big steaming shit all over in front of the fans, and not give them the one that they want, give them the one that they hate. And he's perfect for that. He's absolutely perfect for that. So I didn't mind it all that much. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was, I thought it was something interesting. Vince McMahon is the man. Well, there you go. That Ric Flair bash is about to get ruined by the man, says Get the Tables. Yeah, don't forget, Ric Flair will be appearing on WWE programming very soon to celebrate his, 70th birthday. How the fuck did Ric Flair live to be 70 years old?
I don't know.
I can't imagine all the drugs and insanity and alcohol and just craziness that's gone on in Ric Flair's life.
Yeah. So I'm wondering that too.
He's a mad genius, says Greg. Can't we have a Becky versus Charlotte match for the WrestleMania spot at Fastlane, says Raven's Blood. What would you think about that?
That could happen. I mean, that's another option, but it
would help Fastlane, that's for sure, because that's an otherwise kind of shit pay-per-view.
It's a pointless pay-per-view. And so that could actually that would be a good idea, but I really think they need this triple threat just to give an out, honestly, because I don't think right now they may want Ronda to get beat clean, but they want Becky as champ. So you put Charlotte in there, best of both worlds. Becky still wins. I mean, you still main event WrestleMania. You still win the women's championship on the biggest stage, and you don't have to pin Ronda.
And the only people that are going to freak out about that are the hardcores.
Yeah.
The hardcores are going to be pissed at anything less than Becky beating Ronda Rousey. Not beating Charlotte Flair, beating Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Ronda's got to take the pin or get submitted, or the hardcores are going to be pissed. Now, that's not to say that's what's going to happen, but I can totally see a scenario like you're saying where Ronda's not involved in the decision. You let Becky get over on Charlotte. She still wins the title. Everybody celebrates, but you still keep that feud going because you leave the door open for Ronda to say you never got over on me. So there's your Becky Lynch update. I'm sure she'll be back on SmackDown Live tomorrow because it's all Becky all the time in WWE these days. So, but hey, that's not a bad thing for a lot of folks. They enjoy what they're seeing. I hope it will be ruined. Ric Flair is blessed. That's why he's still alive, says Brooke. There's somebody up there smiling on him for sure.
Definitely.
It would be so disappointing, says NoFX fan, or it would be so disappointing Becky not beating Ronda. If Becky isn't in this match, I'm done. Hashtag Smark Tears. Yeah, there's man, we could probably do a Smark Tears episode on Thursday just about tonight's episode of Raw.
Exactly.
I can only imagine the Twitter insanity. Why are we speaking like Ronda's still going to hold the title at Mania? Ruby Riott has a shot Sunday, right? Says Juanito.
No.
Right? Ruby Riott could win it at Elimination Chamber, right? And that's supposed to...
I mean, yeah. I could also sprout wings and start flying, but that shit ain't happening. But back to Nikki, what happened to Sasha? The worst fucking story ever of she got a random knee and then all of a sudden she was too hurt to wrestle. So for the second straight week, Bayley had to fight by herself, and this time Bayley lost. And so now they have to be the first ones to start off the chamber match.
So that was the stipulation of that match. Bayley and Sasha will now be the first tag team, along with another, obviously, in the Elimination Chamber.
So SmackDown on Thursday will be the three teams from SmackDown. The Fire and Desire, I guess, is what they're calling themselves now.
Is that what they're calling themselves?
Which actually is not a bad name.
It's not.
Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville, yep. You've got the Iconics.
Iconics, and then who's the third team?
From SmackDown Live, it's
a third team.
It'll come to us from SmackDown Live. We're in Raw mode because it's Monday Night Raw tonight, but
they'll wrestle on SmackDown, or on Tuesday, I should say. They'll wrestle tomorrow, and the winner of that, the one who gets pinned in that match, will also start the match.
Exactly.
But I'm wondering if this is a thing to build up the sympathy for Bayley, and are they telegraphing Bayley and Sasha winning this? Because, I mean, they got in the match because Sasha was hurt, and Bayley won their spot by herself, and then Sasha gets hurt, which I didn't understand that match anyway, because it's like
Carmella and Naomi is the other.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
And I didn't understand that match anyway, because like it just, the psychology of it was off, because you have Sasha tagging out like she was didn't want to wrestle, which they're the big baby faces. They should always want to wrestle because it's a match. And then just a random, like, she just took a random knee. Like, yeah, I guess you could argue it's pinned her head against the fucking apron, but we've seen this bitch dive onto the top of her head.
Exactly.
And still finish the match.
Injure herself and still finish the match with no problems at all.
So I find it hard to believe that a random knee against a barricade took her out, where they had to literally carry her out and she wasn't there for the finish of the match.
Yeah, exactly. And Kirk Smith, hey, I'm with you. I know I'm in the minority as well. I haven't been a huge fan of the Becky angle. To me, it's actually getting interesting. I know that Redleaf just said, he's over the whole authority figures in the main event. That's an old school thing. He's tired of seeing it, just zero reaction. I think this is going to get a reaction for sure, just because Vince is getting involved with, first of all, when Vince gets involved nowadays, he doesn't do that very often, number one. And number two, again, I think he's picked the perfect time to get involved and the perfect two people to get involved with. Yeah. To be championing Charlotte, who nobody wants, and to be up against Becky Lynch, who everybody wants, is such a fucking Vince move. And for all the talk that's out there about Vince being out of touch and so on and so forth, that's what an authority figure, a heel authority figure should do. It's absolute perfection from him.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really, really, really good. He saved that segment, kind of, because I was kind of like the same thing when they just like, oh, I'm expecting something. You knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, and Becky.
And so when they walked off and she's like, oh, so that's it?
Yeah, so what did you think, and I'm saying this to you in the chat as well, what did you think about Becky apologizing? Because and Sean mentioned it on the phone call earlier, I guess I can put, what was my sorry 316 shirt, like, Austin never apologized. And again, I don't buy the Austin Becky Lynch comparison at all. So I'm not gonna double down and say, oh well, Austin never would have done that. That comparison's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I was expecting a little more like Austin, and I think he's done this before. He do the I'm sorry, and then start rattling off insults as sorry, like, I'm sorry you're a jackass.
Yeah, exactly.
That type of shit. So I thought that's where Becky was going.
That's exactly where I thought it was going.
And then all of a sudden she was just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you could tell I guess they're trying to make it where she didn't want to do it, but she did it anyway.
Does that affect the character at all? Because she's been this badass character, this anti-authority figure, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And all of a sudden, she's like, okay, I'm sorry.
No, because, I mean, everyone comes to that realization, no matter how badass you are, you find someone that's, quite frankly, more badass than you.
But isn't that the classic wrestling story, though? The odds are completely stacked against you. There's no possible way that Becky Lynch can get into that match because, she won't bow down to the authority and say that she's sorry, and somehow, some way, she finds a way to get in it. Like, that's what I was expecting.
But then again, maybe because, that's Attitude Era booking, essentially. And wrestling has changed so much. So they try. I mean, a lot of times they fail, but they try to work within the realm of believability of a storyline angle, right?
I guess.
So in this angle, it makes no sense any other way besides her apologizing, because what if she doesn't? You're making the heels look bad. So you're taking the heat away from them, because then you're just proving that they aren't about their word.
Yeah, and it's kind of what you were saying earlier. The setup for it wasn't the best, because it's not like
setup.
What they were asking her to do was unrealistic in the first place. That's why the whole attacking
like
Stephanie
how they
and Triple
could have
H.
taken this to a different level is maybe making it more degrading for her. Like, I want you to get on your knees, kiss my feet, and apologize.
Now there you go. That's something
kiss my feet for your WrestleMania
worked.
spot. How bad do you want this spot? Kiss my feet. Then that's something that she's justified in not doing.
Yeah.
And then she cannot do that, and people will stand with her on that, and they'll find some other way. You can backtrack another way to get her into the match. Obviously, it's going to be through a match.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It definitely could have been done better. Let's get caught up on some of these comments here. Mantis says, Charlotte's in there because she's better at everything than Becky is. So she's also a Flair. So there's that. What happened to us, the fans, or the authority? Nothing has changed, says NoFX and Tampa fan, who both said it's still this authority BS, which, that is kind of true
But
there.
I mean, I don't see this more as an authority as it's, she went out there, one, she was disrespecting him, and this is his company. She's put her, like we said earlier, she put her hands on 2 board members of the company. That shit just doesn't slide.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So I don't see this as like I say, if he was trying to make her grovel or do something like that, then that'd be more like the McMahon authority figure. But this is like basically, hell, sometimes everyone's had that person at a job that rubs everybody completely the wrong way, but they are good at what they do.
Exactly.
And so you just wait for them to do something that oversteps you just wait for them to overstep their talent.
Yeah.
With
totally
their
agree.
actions.
I totally agree. So we'll see what happens there going forward. It's obviously they're going to have to find a way to get Becky Lynch back in this match. Hopefully it's something that's worth keeping an eye out and watching the program for. We shall see. Becky should be fired and shipped off to AEW, says England. So I don't think that's going to happen. But Ronda fucking put the COO through a table, says Bobarewski. And I don't think Ronda ever had to apologize either. But so it goes. Becky's going to show up tomorrow night. Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Yeah. She'll definitely be there for that. And, I'm kind of with Red Leaf. Given the way that Becky has been booked to be this badass, and we've kind of coming around in circles here, but it wasn't put together the best of ways. It probably could have been done a little bit better. 832-937-4559 is the number if you want to get on the phone lines. Keep those super hearts coming. Yep. We appreciate that. Again, we're trying to get to our 152,000 super hearts for the month. And starting on Thursday, I'll have a little scroll down at the bottom with an updated number so we can know how far we got to go. And if you don't know how to give super hearts on Periscope, simple. Go over to the Periscope app. There's a little button down on the bottom, a heart with little dots all the way around it. And for as little as 99 cents, you can buy some super hearts and tap those and help us out here on the program. And we'd be very appreciative of that. So if you'd like to do so, you certainly can. Let's see. I can't wait for Kevin Owens' return. I totally agree. Can't wait to see KO back. Got to see him at a bowling alley tonight, bowling with his family. So
yeah, that was weird.
I guess he's getting prepared for his comeback by bowling. Love heel Becky, hate the man gimmick. Jeffrey Cross sums it up perfectly for me. I'm just not a fan of the man gimmick itself, but so be it. I'm gonna keep an eye open for this storyline. Yeah, it could be good. Creative and Vince just isn't the same. NXT. I'm so fed up with this Becco bullshit, says Lit Mantis. We need Roman Reigns back to take the helm of this company. Yeah, it's I'm ready for Roman to come back too.
Yeah.
I was never an anti-Roman mark to begin with, so I would be happy to see him back. Lover or hater, Becky Lynch has put the Divas division on par with the men's. Hey, look, they're certainly getting more love now than they have. That's right.
Women.
Let's be careful, Juanito. Just watch yourself.
Watch yourself.
Gotta put some respect on that.
Put some respect on.
We're just gonna use that to death.
I know we are. It never gets old.
Let's get back to the Revival, damn it, because
No,
that's the whole thing here.
The Revival
celebration for the top guys.
Celebration.
Okay, they didn't just win.
They did just win.
Give some respect to the Revival.
It was a great match.
Put some respect on.
It was a fantastic.
It was
match,
a fantastic match,
and kudos
they
to
won.
Rude and Gable.
Yeah,
as usual, another great match. And it got time.
Yeah.
It got time for these go out there. I mean, and how many close fucking and not just bullshit false finishes, where guys kick out of shit that they shouldn't kick out of. Oh, there's a couple moves like that in this one, but it's kind of what you expect nowadays. But the saves, like the one save where Gable was getting pinned and Rude actually knocked Wilder into Dawson to break up the pin, was fucking awesome. I mean, it's just when you see tag teams that know what they're doing and go out there and put on a great match, it's spectacular.
But it's also that Shatter Machine though was nice. Mm-hmm. But also it's a testament to technically the writing too of this whole thing to get the Revival to that point. It's not an accident that this match was filled with a lot of spots because I was sitting here watching it with you. And like there was a lot of spots where you were just like, motherfucker. Like you thought that
I thought the
it
match was over.
Yeah, because that's like they start setting up with these accidental spots where the Revival would clash into one another and then it lead to a pin and everything. They set this up perfectly to make you think this is going to be just another match that the Revival are going to lose, but it's going to be awesome. And then they pulled the switcheroo at the end and had the Revival win. Clean in the middle of the ring, no shenanigans, no nothing like that. And so, I mean, it was a really good match. And, you know, now it's like, what do you do with them?
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far as to say, because as big a fan as I am of the Revival, I'm not going to go so far as to say that this is going to be some kind of renaissance of the WWE Tag Team division. I love the storyline that they're doing with the Revival. And the Revival are
apparently just come to a close. So now my question again is, what do you do with them? Like, who's next in line? I mean, I can't even think of really anybody.
Well, and we've got a superstar shakeup coming up.
Yeah,
it's coming up in April, I believe, after WrestleMania. So
B-Team coming for that ass.
That's fuck the fucking B-Team. That could be very interesting, and I hope that the Revival do manage to hold on to the titles beyond WrestleMania, because you could see teams from SmackDown Live coming over here, and you could get the Revival and the Usos. You could get the Revival and the New Day. You could get the Revival and the Bar. You could get the Revival and Sanity. I mean, there's plenty of tag teams in WWE, and you've still got some tag teams coming up from NXT. I mean, the fucking Authors of Pain have fallen off the earth. You know, those guys are going to come back in the picture. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They're not around right now. You've still got our boy Otis Dozovich, or just Otis now, which we killed the last name. But you got Heavy Machinery, so they're going to be around. I know you hate Heavy Machinery, but Otis is a fucking national treasure. There's certainly there's things that can be done with the tag team division. There's always been things that can be done with the tag team division. They just haven't done it until now. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction, and we can start seeing some of that. We shall see. WWE's in a great place right now. Love it or hate it. Yeah, for those of you who are interested in these kind of things, and I know some people say, oh, you shouldn't give a fuck about this. Well, yeah, if you're a fan of the company and you want them to do better, when they're making record-breaking profits, which they are, if you heard the latest WWE earnings report, their fucking profits are through the roof, and they're reaching all-time highs in revenues. It's good to be them right about now. And I know a lot of people want to talk about, you know, AEW coming and so on and so forth, and I'm sure they're not happy about that, but they're not worried about that.
No, not at all.
Not in the slightest. I mean, and that's no knock against AEW.
No, but again, until there's more concrete facts like what station they're going to be, or if they're even going to be on TV, it's not a threat.
Goodbye, Brooke. Good to have you with us. Yeah, allegedly around October is what is supposedly when the TV is going to start with AEW.
Yeah,
again, this is just one of those rumors.
Yeah, it's just one of those rumors. But until they actually do something outside of that All In, like there's nothing right now that makes me think that Double or Nothing is just All In, which obviously it is All In too. But that's it. They'll do a stream of it. You know, until we get more facts about it, they're nowhere near a threat.
But we should say congratulations to AEW, because they did sell out the pre-show tickets that were available. Now, those of you who are interested in getting tickets and heading to Las Vegas for Double or Nothing, don't stress too much, because tickets will go back on sale on Wednesday. So you had the pre-sale tickets that sold out today in about 25 minutes. I don't know how many tickets it was. Yeah. But the show, to my understanding, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is not completely sold out. Mm-hmm. The pre-show tickets that were available are sold out, or whatever it's not pre-show, but the early pre-sale. Thank you. The pre-sale tickets are sold out, but the rest of the tickets will go on sale on Wednesday. So you still got a shot to get your tickets for that. But hey, it looks like they're on their way to another sellout. So congratulations to those guys. Jeffrey Cross says Revivals lose just to become jobbers again. Not going to happen. And look at all these teams people throwing out there. B Team. Of course, Get the Tables wants to see Street Profits. We mentioned Hawkins and Ryder, definitely. Authors of Pain. You've also got, who is it that somebody mentioned? War Raiders from NXT coming up. So, yeah, man, it's... There's a lot of good stuff that can happen.
Undisputed Era.
Hopefully it will. Yeah, and Undisputed Era. Let's not forget about those guys. All Out is actually supposed to be All In too. That's correct. Yes, that this one is not technically All In.
No,
part two.
I'm not saying.
But
it
I know what
was.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, or what's going to be AEW's Mania? Who knows? Who knows? Well, let's see how many shows they do and what they're going to do and so on and so forth. People bought them, and people are already gouging the shit out of these tickets. Apparently, and I will give them props for this as well. Not like I'm not happy to give those guys props. I think what they've done is amazing. I love the fact that they have kept their ticket prices manageable for these. My understanding is that the most expensive ticket, ringside seats, $211. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Now, what happened is all these scalping fuckers bought up all the tickets and put them up on StubHub for like over $2,000 already, which you had to know that was coming.
Yeah.
After what happened the first time around, you knew those fucking vultures were going to be all over it. So here's hoping that those of you that are interested to go on that show are able to do so because, those guys, they're doing a lot of things right. Regardless of what folks want to say about them, they are doing a lot of things right. Thank you, Kristen, very much for the Super Hearts. We appreciate that. The Raw titles are trash now. The biggest jobbers won them, says no effects. You're just going to have to learn to
Put some respect on.
You're just going to have to put some respect on it because tag team champs, they don't have to say
that's
shit.
a bit much. I mean, the B team was tag team champs, so they're only the second biggest jobbers. Bright side.
It's not even.
Bright
It's
side.
Vegas. AEW, they took that into mind. It's Vegas. AEW, they took that into mind. You lost me there, Bob Ruski, but hey, whatever. Don't encourage him, Adam Awesome. Telling him preach. Not going to encourage that kind of talk here on the program. It's a happy day. All right, let's get to what else did we miss on Monday Night Raw? There was we had the
about it.
6-man tag team match.
That does not.
Just to get the folks caught up on what they missed. You had
Finn Balor landed a hell of a coup de grace on
you had
Bobby
Finn Balor, Kurt
He
Angle.
stuck the landing.
Yes, indeed. And one of the most awkward segments to me.
Was the
First
Elias?
of all, Elias, and here's my question. I missed the boat on this. Was there a moment that Elias went back heel again? Because for those of you who didn't watch, he's clearly heel again.
This is the Jeff Jarrett.
So the Jeff Jarrett thing was like an official heel
Pretty
turn.
much.
Okay. Because he's full on heel back to doing songs about how shitty the town that he's in is and so on and so forth. Today, the Lucha House Party came out and interrupted him.
Which that part of the segment was entertaining. But to me, what threw me off, because I was like, what the fuck is going on? Is my shit jumping? Because it was like, ladies and gentlemen, Elias, you hear him strum the guitar. Then it cuts to some random
To
promo.
Becky and Finn talking backstage.
Becky and Finn. And then it comes back, and then it's like it started over. So, ladies and gentlemen, Elias, he strums it again. Then it goes to something else.
It's like a commercial promo or something.
Yeah.
And then the third time, the Lucha House Party interrupt him and so on and so forth. So, yeah, Ravens Blood. Okay, I guess it was Jeff Jarrett because it's.
And then
I don't understand why you put that guy. You go through all the trouble to make him a face, and what the fuck did he do as a face, except sing songs?
Yeah, pretty much. Is
that all we're gonna get from Elias?
Pretty much, I think so, because they clearly show they're not interested in doing anything more than the segment where he jumps and maybe has a match the following week, but not so much. Because
Right.
I mean, to me, it's like it just shows that the WWE does not give a shit about Elias, and I say that just from a standpoint of watching, because I get that if the Lucha House Party interrupt him, I get if Seth Rollins interrupts him. I understand where those people interrupted, but when you are interrupting him for segments on your show, that's showing the world that WWE doesn't give a shit about him. Like they're being all meta and playing into the joke of the cutting him off.
Yeah.
But it's really fucking stupid.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it
awkward.
just shows that the
It
company
looks like
doesn't
somebody
care.
fucked up.
Yeah, and
It
that's
looks
what
like
it does.
somebody in the production crew fucked something up, and you go, "Oh shit, somebody's gonna hear it about."
Like I honestly thought it was until like the second time when they did the setup again. Then I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. Well, actually, when they came back before the Lucha House Party, then I was like, okay, I get what they're doing now. But the first time I thought maybe they jumped the gun and then they went to that segment because they're like, we got to go to this segment.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Eddie says they're doing Becky dirty and WWE don't care about anybody. They are doing Becky dirty, but it's going to pay off. I really do think it's going to pay off. When she gets that win, it's all going to be worth it. So we just got to be patient about it. A couple people in the chat suggesting that maybe Elias asked for a release. Maybe. And maybe that's why they're doing him the way that they are. Any thoughts on whether that could be the case?
No. Because, I mean, pretty much I don't see them going out there. Because if he's asked for his release, then obviously he doesn't want to be there. So I don't see.
He'd still go out there. He'd still honor his contract.
I wouldn't. I mean, you're asking for your release. I'd just be like, I'm cool to sit up there because I'm not going to let you.
Well, what about Dean Ambrose? Dean Ambrose going out there and doing his thing.
But they're also not making a fool of Dean.
Okay.
Like, there's a difference. Like, there's, Dean may lose or, because I didn't even see his match because I was on my way here to $1 Million Studios. I left right when he came out, said to slay the beast, and then they were like, he's got a match. So I don't know who he wrestled.
He wrestled Dean Ambrose again, and Ambrose got the win tonight.
Oh, EC3?
So it's basically 1-1 EC3 and Dean Ambrose.
So, but I just don't see that, like.
You don't see it as a possibility.
I don't.
It's just an idea. I mean, I hear people throwing it out there, and we'll see. Do we think Dean leaving is a work?
Yes. I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it. Like, I think it is a work. Like, because, again, too many things just don't jive to what, WWE.
The way that they normally do
they
business.
Don't normally advertise 3 months from now that someone's contract is going to be over and they're not re-signing. They just let it be quiet and they try to re-sign them. And then if they don't, you get the Dean Ambrose requested his release and we granted him his release. We wish him the best on his future endeavors. You don't put 3 months, 6 months, whatever that before that his contract is coming up and he is not renewing it.
Yeah, it does seem very awkward.
Because that makes you, just from a business standpoint, that makes you look fucking bad.
Yeah, it just seems very
Why
awkward.
would you advertise that you can't keep your talent?
Kirk Smith thinks it's a work as well. Yeah, Kalisto gets hit by a guitar, and the Revival win the titles. It is a good night for me to get the tables. It was a very good night. So,
you should have hit Penelope the Pinata with it.
Yeah, fucking pinatas.
That's the one thing I agree with.
Do you think he's just going to take a vacation, come later, re-sign or something? Yeah, I mean.
I think he's probably already re-signed and they're working this. Because let's not forget, when CM Punk did this thing, he had already re-signed. And so they just turned it into a story. But, the thing was, it was more believable. Because Punk was in a higher level than Ambrose right now.
Yeah.
And so I think, and I don't know if that's just really like Ambrose trying to play the part of like, oh, he's lackadaisical because he knows he's leaving. But if they added some air of believability to it, like him wanting, like, if I was leaving a company that I'm not renewing my contract.
Yeah.
I take every chance to say why. This is why I'm doing it. Because one, you're basically, if you're leaving a company, you're auditioning your last few performances for
your next company.
Yeah,
your
the next company
employer.
that wants to sign you.
Yeah.
So that's why I said with the Elias thing, if he was actually asking for his release and they were doing this, I would just say, no, I'm not going out there because they're basically making a fool of him and devaluing him so that when another company sees, they're like, well, this company is not even giving them a whole segment.
Well, you got to think, I mean, in the wrestling business, though, you got to expect that if it's known that a guy's on his way out, they're going to job him out to everybody on his way out. That's just what they do a lot of times. So,
well, there's a difference between jobbing him out and losing. Just because he loses on the way out doesn't mean he's necessarily jobbing.
That's true. That's a good point.
How it's done. Like, again, if you're leaving, then you should lose because why? It's not going to do anything for the company.
You to win. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So I don't. Like I said, I think that this is all a work.
Hey, Jeffrey Cross has got him coming in and interfering in the Brock and Seth Rollins match at Mania.
That could happen.
Which would be very interesting.
Like, it would be very interesting. Like, I think I would have him help Seth and cause the friction there, so he can, go back to the heel, Dean, and basically like, you only have that because I decided you should have it, because in reality it's he wants to take it off him because
Exactly.
he wanted to give, because he took the Intercontinental Championship, then he lost that to Lashley, so this thing, it's a way to reheat the feud between them, and so he doesn't have anything for him to take, and he's just out there talking about how he would sell his soul to the devil just to make sure Brock Lesnar is not the Universal Champion. So what better way than to have him go help him and then let him know every chance he gets. That title you're holding?
It's because of me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
I willed it for you.
What's not a good setup is the Lucha House Party getting a title shot for all the wins over the Revival, Jeffrey Cross. For every good idea you come up with some shit like that just to try to stir the pot here, but it's not going to happen. That's a good thing. He helped Seth only to take the title, says Jeffrey Cross. See, there you go again. Yeah. It's hit and miss with Jeffrey Cross. He's not a Revival fan, but that's okay. Let's get over to one other note from outside the WWE tonight, since we pretty much touched on everything of importance on Raw. We do have, and spoiler alert for those of you planning on watching the New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginnings event, we do have Silky too sweeting my eardrum here for some reason. A new IWGP Heavyweight Champion, the Switchblade, Jay White. My pick to win the G1 this past year.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen, obviously, but not a bad pick. And of course, I had him beating Tama Tonga, and that didn't work out so well. Yeah. But hey, listen, Switchblade Jay White, for those of you that are not New Japan fans, is the real day. He's fucking fantastic.
Phenomenal.
What is your thought on, because again, for those of you who are not New Japan fans, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship changed hands at this year's Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th, 2019, where Hiroshi Tanahashi won the title off of Kenny Omega. Of course, eventually Kenny Omega now coming over and being a part of All Elite Wrestling, so that made sense. But just barely a month later, Tanahashi drops the title to Switchblade Jay White. Now, Silky was talking, you and I were talking before the show, and thank you again, Kristen, for the Super Hearts. You were talking before the show about how it didn't seem like a huge deal because, again, for those of you who are not New Japan fans, they don't hot potato that title. That IWGP really Heavyweight Championship is defended maybe half a dozen times a year. Yeah. For all the people that bitch and moan about Brock Lesnar not being around to defend the title.
Let's just put this in perspective. Okada had the title for 768 days. He defended it 12 times and lost it on his 13th defense.
Exactly. So
that's over 2 years.
Now,
and that's not even a title defense a month.
Exactly. So now Silky said before, and a lot of people say the same thing. They don't have as big a problem with it because Okada's still around. He's doing tag team matches. He's doing fucking 8-man tag team matches, shit like that New Japan loves to do. But the fact that this title changed hands as quickly as it did, it's a rare thing.
Yeah,
it's a rare thing.
And like I said, the only thing is that I felt like they shit on his moment of winning the title because if you watch the commentary through the match, they just basically like they've been doing with Angle when he wrestles like Drew McIntyre or Lashley, as they talk about how he used to be and how basically he's become decrepit. Like they talked about Tanahashi's knees, how both of them are shot. He's sure as soon as he hangs it up, it's going to be a double knee replacement. They basically told you that Tanahashi at this point is being held together by duct tape and well wishes. And then I'm supposed to think it's a big deal
that
when this 26-year-old guy in the prime of physical conditioning beats him?
Yeah.
No, like, I mean, it just felt like it wasn't a moment. Like, it was shocking. I think they might have been going for, like, when Taker or when Lesnar beat the Street Shocking, where it's just like quiet, because it was that. I mean, of course it was spoiled, so I knew it, but watching it, I could see how the fans, like the reaction where it's like people were just like, did that just fucking happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
No, did that just happen? It just seemed like no one could believe that this is what they were seeing.
It's not now. That being said, there were a lot of people, at least from what I've been reading online, that felt like Jay White was next in line. So it's not like it was a huge surprise that he won it. It's just the fact that it happened so quickly, number one. And number two, like you said, it felt like they didn't really do him any favors in terms of you didn't have a long time to build up to this. Now, they had a tag team match the week before, whatever, like they do in New Japan. But again, it's the pay-per-view right after the biggest pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. So, it didn't happen on the grandest stage. It happened on the one that's after that.
And it's very much a smaller, because really their big pay-per-views or big shows are, of course, Wrestle Kingdom, the New Japan Cup, the G1, and Dominion. Those are like their big four.
Yeah, Dominion's right around SummerSlam-ish time.
Yeah.
You've got your beginning of the year Wrestle Kingdom. That's kind of their WrestleMania.
Yeah, so those are the shows where you want the title changes to happen because of the fact that's where the most eyes. Like all the New Beginning shows, I mean, they're just fluffer to, maybe get a title defense in here and stuff. They're 2-night shows like New Year's Dash. So the New Beginnings in Osaka, and then I think they have like 4 of them because they have like New Beginnings in Hiroshima, and then they do the next New Beginnings in Sapporo, then New Beginnings in Osaka.
Now, Red Leaf says they always do that with Tana, that was the story last year as well.
What?
I would assume, saying that he's held together by duct tape and well wishes or,
But it was, they did that throughout, but then he didn't win. Like, until Wrestle Kingdom, like, when you watch the call on Wrestle Kingdom, they didn't really talk about him like he was past his prime and it's just a miracle he's out there doing it. They talked about him like, despite his age, he's in the best condition of his life. He's a marvel athlete. He's a once-in-a-century talent. And then flash forward a month later, he's fighting Jay White. Is like, both his knee is shot.
Man, he's got to
his
be
other
dying,
knee
right?
is shot.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like literally, and I shit you not, that was one of the calls from the announcers is that soon as he's done, he's probably going to have double knee replacements. And then Jay White slammed him into the apron and then into the guardrail back first. And then he's like, probably going to need back surgery too.
Yeah.
Like that is legit what they were saying.
It's the Matt Jackson back injury that's been going on for 3 years now. And that's what Ravensblood said. Tanahashi's been nursing the knee since the G1. She sees it as long-term booking. Tampa fan, you can watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can watch some of the older content a few weeks after the fact on Access TV or njpwworld.com, I believe.
It's like
good luck trying to navigate that fucking website. It's a mess.
It's once you get in it, like I'm used to it.
That's been my one complaint. And honestly, one of the reasons I haven't gotten New Japan Pro Wrestling is because, God, it's such a pain in the ass trying to figure out where to go and what to do and all that kind of shit. Like, it's
fairly simple once you get in. Just remember to switch it to English. And because that was, I think, the biggest problem is like,
a lot of people go there and then see it in Japanese and go, what the fuck?
Completely in Japanese, and you have to find at the top when everything's in Japanese the language setting, which you'll see the box, and because it makes it hard to find just where you log in because everything's in Japanese.
Yeah,
but it's definitely worth it because you can go back and watch New Japan from like the fucking 70s, like Antonio
back when it was
Inoki.
The shit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Red Leaf says he just came back from destroyed injury angle and had nothing left, then won the G1 and the title.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. Well, that's going to be about all we got for you this evening, coming up on the end of our program here. So thank you again to those of you who left the Super Hearts for us tonight. Silky, you want to shout them out over there on Periscope, all the good folks who chipped in this evening?
Kristen, Jeff Cross,
Mike Drop,
Anthony, Get the Tables, Lit Mantis, Mac Diesel, and Otis Section.
Don't hate on the Otis Section.
Otis Section is good with me.
Otis Section.
I just don't like the Otis dose of it.
Thank you guys very much. Again, if you want to pitch into the program, you can drop those Super Hearts on Periscope or hit us up at the tip jar, tinyurl.com/SB tip jar. We are back with you on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Spees and the Benchmark Show. Silky, anything else to get out there for the people before we say goodnight?
February 23rd, like I've always said. It's going to be me and T-Ray in a Falls Count Anywhere match. It's going to get crazy.
And NoFX fan, you got 20 more minutes of driving. You can restart the program and watch the stuff that you missed at the beginning. Or if you watched it all, then just watch it again and celebrate the Revival's victory one more time, because that's never going to get old. Just stop it. All right, folks, for the Benchmark, Sugi Baines.
Yo.
Chris Spizak, thank you so much for being with us. We will see you Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central, right here on the Spies and the Benchmark Show. Good night, everybody. As soon as I hit the right button to get us out of here. Good night, everybody.